if our religion, Allah is great because our parents, mom used to tell us, Allah mein naraz ho jayenge, Allah will be unhappy with you, and Allah will be happy with you, Allah will be annoyed with you. These things, these are for the kids only, not for our age. In this age we need to understand logical ground. Outside you go, you see people, atheists, they've got their own religion. Atheists are not someone who don't follow a religion. They've got their own religion to follow. And, Scientologists. Have you heard of the Church of Scientology? Have you heard?
Yeah, what's his name? Tom Cruise.
All of you go today and go to the Church of Scientology. They say that science is in reality moving the whole. They think that God is the science and this whatever we have attributed to. So for them to convince them, come across them, how will you confront them? How will you tell them? How will you convince them and prove that our religion is the best one and our teachings are the best one? That's only when we know our school of thought. It's a sorry state of affairs that one person used to go, one Shia used to go to the area and he used to transform the whole area into the followers of Ahlul Bayt. Are we able to do that today? No. With this small effort, we are trying to do that. We are moving in that direction. Each one of you, I want that they should be a better preacher than at least myself. Where I'm ending, I want you to take a start from there, move forward there. We try to do that in Luton. Some of our friends, they used to go into churches, not the normal churches where people don't go to the churches at all, they don't know about their religion. They used to go to the churches where people knew about their religion. They used to go and talk to Wahhabis. They used to talk to Takfiris. They are very much talkative and they think that they know too much about their religion and their path. But our friends, they used to go and talk to them and they didn't used to have answer for our friends. So this is what we are going to do here. If in our schools, in our workplace, in our other places where we come across these people, and we don't have answers for them, right from top to bottom, we have got answers. Our school of thought, rest assured, I've been studying in English medium schools, in convents, and I've done my engineering, and then turned to become a Molana, and then I've seen both sides of the education, the religious one and the college and university one, both of them. But rest assured, the most logical, the most rational, the most sound, the most convincing school of thought is our Imam Jafar Sadiq school of thought, and most convincing religion is Islam. But the only thing is that Islam is a different thing and we Muslims are different. Shia faith as a faith is different, and we Shias, we are different. We are traditionalists. We have started following traditions. We are, if 5-10 people get, let's do this thing, everybody will say, yo, let's do. They won't think, why should we do this? You mean the reason, did an Imam did it? Will Imam be happy with us to do that or not? There was a great alim, this story, I forgot his name, and we haven't started our lecture yet, it's just a warm-up. That Molana was delivering a lecture and somebody came to him, Molana, you don't tell the people on the higher level, people, you should tell them something about the higher level so that the people enjoy it and they will learn more. He said, people don't have that mental level to understand those things of higher level. Molana, people are on very good, very high level. He said, okay, tonight come to the majlis. He sat down in the majlis and he started reciting on the day of Ashura. It was so hot that all the children, they didn't get water and they were screaming, Al-Atash, Al-Atash, thirst. We are thirsty. And then, next day he recited that when the camels of the captives of caravan of Karbala reached Kufa, it was so icy that the camels were slipping and the people used to fall down off the camels. And the people were crying there again. He said, did you see? In Karbala, it was so hot that the people couldn't bear the thirst. And in Kufa, it was so cold that the camels were slipping on the ice. The roads were icy. How can you combine the two? Nobody questioned me. So this thing is that with the open mind, Karbala means open mind. It was not the followers of Imam Hussain where Imam Hussain read the dua and he just blew his breath on them, and everybody started following Imam Hussain. No, these were normal people who were convinced that the path is the right path. So once we are convinced that what we are doing, right from top, from Allah to the Prophet, to the Quran, to the Day of Judgment, to our life, and we place ourselves, link ourselves to Ahlul Bayt, link ourselves, our body, our mind, and our soul to Ahlul Bayt, only then we become a part of that great machine which is working in the universe, past, present, and future, and that's which will move us forward. So this is what we need to do. This is what we need to achieve from these lectures, not just lectures. So today we will be starting from the very beginning, and we have been discussing something about the lectures. Some portions you might have listened to before also. We'll go through them again so that the sequence is complete, and these lectures, inshallah, we'll be trying to do that later on. Maybe we bring it into a printed form, so that the students coming next, they should have a core sort of thing about these things. They are very important. We will be covering some religious aspects, some spiritual aspects also, and some texts about the understanding Tawheed, Adl, Nubuwat, Imamat, and Qiyamat on a bit higher level. And then our prayers, fasting, du'as, the effect of du'as on us, what du'as we can read, what effects the du'as have on ourselves. That will be going through. And then on the spiritual side of understanding Islam in reality, how does it affect our soul, and how we understand that our soul is affected. So for all that, inshallah, today we will be starting with our personal physique, ourselves, that what we are, how we are placed, inshallah, and from that we'll move towards next lecture will be on Tawheed, coming on after we understand our own self. Man arafa nafsahu faqad arafa rabbah. So from there we start, and then we go towards Tawheed, the creation of the world, the Big Bang theory, evolution theory. We had discussed that previously also. We'll be going through that again. Don't get bored, enjoy. If you make notes at home, I think that would be the best thing. I used to do that when I started coming towards the religion, and that time I finished my engineering after that. We used to sit in the majlis of a Molana. We used to write on, you were 5, 6 of us, we used to write on the whole majlis, discuss that majlis later on, what did he said. But we didn't go to the majalis of where there are too many narebazi there. You know, we used to go to the majalis where there was serious stuff there, and we used to get there, ask questions, make questions, and then we used to learn those majalis. We used to prepare those majalis, and then on the weekend, we were living in Islamabad, we used to go to the suburbs of Islamabad, to the villages, far-off villages, group of 2, and we had at least 3 or sometimes 4 groups. We used to go to the villages, 2 of us, and we used to deliver lectures on the majlis which we have listened to. We have prepared that majlis, plus wuzu, how to do wuzu, how to do ghusl, how to do the usul and fuwaidin. On these things we used to give a lecture. Then we used to go by bus, and we used to come back by bus on our own. We used to spend our own money. So that's how we started, and Allah blessed us all in special ways, you know, like we are from there took a start, and then went to Quaim, and all these, the venues were open. So the same venues, we don't wait and don't think that you will have a center and then you will go. No, you can go to anywhere, start in a very polite way, in a very positive way. Each one of us needs to become a preacher and an ambassador of Imam Hussain. Some of you will be good in talking, some of you will be good in writing, some of you can be good in compiling things or finding out different questions. So don't worry. Each one of you, I have read you all, I read your faces, I read your inner self. You've got some beauty inside, and each one of you has got his own qualities, and those qualities need to be brought out. If you are able to speak or a good speaker, you need to speak. If you are a good writer, you need to write. If you've got any other qualities, you need to bring those qualities, and inshallah you will find me encouraging you, and I'll be telling you what you can bring out and how you can move forward. And this was just a warm-up, and coming towards lecture, Salawat bar Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. I was in a hurry, running about here and there, too many worldly things. I don't have worldly things, but you know, a car and this and other thing. I had to go to Hendon, came back, and didn't have time to get my mama and everything, so sometimes it will happen. You are actually concerned with my words, what I say, and it shall be all learning, including myself. A loud salawat for Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين نبينا وشفيعنا وطبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أعداء الدين. أما بعد فقد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم من عرف نفسه فقد عرف ربه. Whosoever starts understanding himself will be able to understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat for Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Where we are coming from, where we are heading to, and what is our aim and objective of life is an important factor. But before we go deeply into this topic, we need to understand that there are different types of creatures which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. Small, big, flying, crawling on the ground, moving on the earth, or seen. Some of them we can see, some we can't see. There's vast knowledge of bacteria, we call them, which are not seen. Some live on earth, some live underwater, even some live in ice. There are some creatures which live in ice and they get their food there, they grow up there and they die there. And some of them, they need oxygen from air, they breathe. Some of them, their skins, they get the oxygen. Some of them, they get their food and their needs and requirements in other ways. And they have got production systems. But generally, we bring them all and compile them into animals, like birds and everything, reptiles, everything is included in that. This is one of the creations of Allah, which are animals. They eat, they drink, they produce children, they mate with their females to produce children, they make home, and they go away from this world. This is just a summary of their life, one way or the other. They eat and drink, they produce children, they make home, and they go away from the world. This is what they do. And their life pattern, if you see them, their motherboard has been fed with some facts. They get the guidance from there and they act in the way in which they have been guided, in which the chip has been fitted into their motherboard, into their mind. You know, a chicken born here and has no contact with a hen or with a rooster, with a cock. No, it didn't have a contact. And a chicken born in, for example, in far-off land of India, both of the chickens, they will act in the same manner. They have not been taught, they have not been brought up, they didn't get any training from anywhere, they didn't learn anything from anywhere. Where is this thing coming from? It is from their mind, which has been fed into it. And as Newton says, a thing static will remain static, and a thing moving will keep on moving in absence of a net force. So what is the force which taught them? This is a mental movement, this is a movement of their mind. They came to understand that whenever they are hungry, they will produce a noise. Whenever they see something to eat, barley, wheat, they will eat it. But if they see meat, they won't eat it. A chicken here, newborn chicken here, and a newborn chicken in India, they won't eat meat. They will eat barley, they will eat wheat, they will eat something like the food which they have been fed. Where is this understanding coming from? Where is this knowledge coming from? This is that the animals have got a definite feat in their mind. They have been fed with, they have been taught, they have been trained, they have been done that in their mind. They have not gone through training, but they possess that knowledge which has been given to them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But their knowledge, they can't expand their knowledge. Their knowledge is limited. Inshallah, when we compare that with human being, then we will talk about that. Similarly, they've got a definite pattern of life. The pattern of life of sparrows here and the sparrows in India and Africa, in Europe and Australia, anywhere, and America will be the same. The pattern of life of, for example, a snake will be the same in any land. Then horse, they have got the same patterns of life. Usual, normal pattern of life. I don't want to say that when the horses are trained, they can do something which other horses can't do. But, you know, the normal, the ideal, the original ones, which are clear of any sort of training, any sort of knowledge given, passed on to them, or their experiences. For example, if you take a dog, tie him in a room, and put on black clothes, and take a stick in your hand and start beating him up. So whenever he will see somebody in black clothes, he will attack that guy. So that's not his normal behavior. The normal behavior is like the dog's normal behavior, but there it has been trained. So this is different. But the original attitude of all the animals is the same. They've got knowledge, but a definite knowledge, and through that knowledge they learn what to eat, what not to eat, how to mate and how to produce children, how to make a nest and how to lay down eggs, and in what season to lay down eggs, and how to lay down eggs, and how to bring up their children. All these trainings have been given to them in their motherboard. It's fed there, and they act according to that. But they can't move ahead of that. These are animals. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created angels. They don't possess a body. They don't produce children. They don't mate. They don't eat or drink. They don't live or make houses. They don't need to make a house. And their life is totally different than the life of animals. Animals have got their likings or dislikings, their inner self, their inclinations, like sexual inclination towards food. Angels don't have possessed that. The angels are created. They've got knowledge, they've got wisdom, to an extent that they understand that they need to obey Allah and Allah alone. They don't commit sins because their wisdom is on that level. They've seen everything. Once you see everything and understand, then after that you don't do something that is not given to you. Sacrifice, like sacrificing, one angel don't sacrifice itself for any other thing, because they are doing what Allah has ordered them to do. Those who are prostrating, they are just prostrating, they don't know any other position. They worship Allah and are obedient to Allah and prostrating. Those who are in ruku or in sajda or in any way, whatever they have been ordered to and created for, they are doing and performing the duties what they have been created for. These are two type of creations of Allah, and Allah has got a combination of both of them. He combines the angels and combines the animal qualities and produces a third creation, which we call the human being. Now here lies the test. Because animals or the angels, they don't have a free will. They are bound to do what they have been created for. They can't go left and right from their tracks, angels or animals. But their combination, the human being, it has got the animal inclinations. We have got two sides. We have got our body. Our body is going through an evolution. From cell to sperm, come to the father's body as a sperm. Then after that sperm goes to the mother's womb. And there it develops into a body, a big body. Then when it's developed physically, Allah attaches a soul to it. Our soul comes from the world of angels and joins that body. That body is possessed by that soul. And it's a human being now. Then it grows to the maximum extent in the mother's womb. Then Allah brings it out into this world for further development. In the mother's womb, the development was only physical. Now in this world, it has to develop physically, it has to develop mentally, and it has to develop spiritually. When it comes to the world, here he comes across scientists, engineers, doctors. Every one of us is a scientist to some extent. Every one of us is a doctor to some extent. Every one of us is a teacher. You know, like kids, we go to anybody's house, we start teaching their kids, you know, because we possess some knowledge. So we all become teachers for them, for those kids, and we start bringing them, passing on our knowledge to those kids, to those babies. And he is observing. When he is born, the baby born, his link of learning is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah teaches him, Allah has taught him like animals have been taught, that what to eat and what not to eat. Allah didn't give him teeth. Why? Because he needs soft food. He needs soft food. So teeth are required for hard food to chew. So those absence of teeth shows that this baby needs soft food like milk only. And mother feeds the baby. If he had teeth at that time, he won't be able to control his teeth. He might be biting his mother. So Allah didn't give him teeth. After a while, when his digestive system grows stronger to digest heavy things or hard food, you see the teeth coming out. Now is the time for him to get used to a bit heavier food or harder food. Now he starts biting. Now he starts chewing. But his jaw is small and the small teeth come out. When he reaches the age of 6, the jaw has grown and his digestive system has grown. Now Allah gives him, brings out those teeth, they fall off and new teeth come which are bigger and the jaw is stronger to bite more harder food and chew that. This is what Allah has done. Now this human being has got his animal inclinations also. It has got a spiritual side of angel side also, of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has got a side of his sexual inclinations also. He is hungry also, he wants to eat and food and everything. Both sides are here. Here lies the test. Here Allah says, do this and don't do this. You are hungry, you want food, don't eat pork. Don't eat dogs. Don't eat the animals, they are harmful for you. This is haram for you, this is halal for you. Here comes the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Science tells us that the meat has got too many proteins. You should eat anything which has got proteins in it. It has got fats in it. It has got too many other things which are good for you. But Allah says they are not good for you. Why is there a confusion, or what we say, why science and religion, they have got a collision path in some aspects? What is the reason for that? Science says it's good for you and Islam says no, it's not good for you. Science has got media in its hand and Islam, only Molana is here to give you the majalis on wiladat and shahadat only, because it's a special time for Imam Hussain, so we don't discuss these topics here. Why are they on collision path? What is the reason? What is the main difference between the scientific values or science, what science tells us, and what Islam tells us? The basic reason is that the science considers only the physical side of the aspect of the things. Only the outlook, not the inlook. Like animals, what they do, they just see the outlook. They can recognize you with your face. They won't be able to recognize you otherwise. You know, some like dog might smell you and understand it's you, but you cover your face and come to an animal, he won't recognize you who is it. He just sees your outlook and he recognizes things with its outlook. It might think that something is grass, but when it goes near, then you will understand, oh, it's not grass, it's something, it's made of plastic, it's artificial. But if you show him that it's grass, it will. Dog sees there, oh, there's a female there, and it starts watching there. But when it goes near there, inside, oh, it was just made of plastic or artificial thing was lying there. Because it sees only the outlook. Human being, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, it can see the outlook and it can see the inner depth of these things also, which we call the zahir and the batin, the inside, and concentrate on the inside. Allah has given human beings the quality. But what science has done, science has just been working on the outside. It has been working on the proteins and fats and this and that. You can eat crab because it has got proteins. It don't tell you that what effect that crab meat has got on your soul, on your spiritual values, on your spiritual growth. Because science doesn't consider us or our spiritual side a side which is important and which grows. It doesn't accept that. It just takes the physical side. So that's why we are coming across on this collision path that what Islam can give us, this science cannot give us. What science tells us is good for, might be good for our body, but after a while they come like cigarettes. They were preaching everywhere, cigarettes are good for your health. You know, you enjoy and you forget your pain and your troubles, you forget those things. Now after years and years and years, they came to the conclusion that cigarettes are bad for you. Similarly, these other foods. So, Islam, we can just conclude that, for example, a baby born is crying. Why is crying? He's hungry. This hunger is an original problem for the baby. He's hungry. But two ways we can calm the baby down. One, we put a dummy into his mouth. He will calm down. And this is what the science does. But once you put the dummy in his mouth, the baby's mouth, what happens? For the time being, he'll calm down. But after a while, what happens? One effect is the physical, that he comes to understand this dummy is not the thing I needed. And he starts crying again. And two more negative effects. That this dummy, sucking that dummy, brings a negative effect on his gums, on his stomach, and one is psychological effect, that negative effect that I have been, what? Mujhe dhoka diya gaya. I've been cheated. I asked for food and food was not given to me, and that these people who are near me and who feed me, they are sometimes cheating me, that trust is gone. This is the psychological effect of that dummy. What does Islam say? Islam says feed the baby. And Islam has given you the years that for how many years a mother should be feeding the baby. So all the things that Islam gives are the real solutions for the real problems. Whereas the science gives you temporary solutions for the real problem. The problems are real that we are facing. And then it doesn't consider our soul. Our spiritual matters are not considered. So all the things, cures, or the things that our science is giving us is for the time being curing us, but not in reality. This is what Islam is giving us, and which is in details. We'll be going through that inshallah. And alhamdulillah, this is our first lecture. We need to understand that our spiritual side is more important than our physical side. Our mental growth, our wisdom is more important than our physical growth of becoming strong, having strong muscles, being happy in our life and performing those duties. More important is our spiritual growth and the growth of our wisdom, which Islam is considering. And inshallah, with that as just a starting point today, I don't want the lecture to be too long. I want the question and answers to come down from you, and inshallah we'll be discussing that. And if you have access to a book, Man and Universe, it is lectures from Shaheed Mutahari. Man and Universe. Yeah.
What is that discussing?
What I'm discussing is from there.
Okay.
It's from there, and I'll bring out more books. I'll tell you what books we are discussing. You will go and prepare those lectures, see those lectures there, come out here, we'll just have a summary of those lectures, and then there will be questions and answers.
So who wrote that book?
Shaheed Mutahari, Murtaza Mutahari. If you are unable to find it, what I'll do is,
I'll put it in my notes. And I'll look it up.
yeah, so if you don't find it, let me know. What I'll do is, I'll find one, and what I'll do, I'll give you the, we can make a photocopy of that and print out of that and distribute for you all. I want you to come up on the level. Don't listen to my lectures. All of it is not from the lectures, you know. There are too many things, but we'll go with that, and inshallah we'll take these books, read those books. I want you to come here prepared for those lectures, and then I'll give you the lectures and we'll compile then question and answer, so we'll be covering more things in less time. Is that all right?
Yeah.
وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين from my side and from your side. If you not ask me questions, I am going to ask you questions.
I thought we have always been told that angels don't have free will like humans. And a Christian guy asked me this question, that if angels don't have free will, then how come Iblis, he did not bow?
Iblis was not from among the angels. He was from among the jinns. But with his prayers and worship, he reached the point of being in the level of angels.
He's a jinn, not...
He's not among the angels. He's from among the jinns. So that's why he was, and he didn't prostrate.
Okay, so just like humans were brought down...
Yeah, like some human being reaches the point of angels, but human being can cross the level of angels. He won't be able to equal to angels. You know, animal inclinations, angels don't possess. With those animal downward inclinations, they are low things. You know, the worldly things are the low things. So those weight on them, and a person reaches the level of angels, so he crosses the level of angels. He's above angels, because angels don't have their physical inclinations of producing children, making home, and other things. Human being does have. And then in his angelistic sides get so strong that he touches the level of angels, he crosses the level of angels.
So just like when Hazrat Adam disobeyed Allah, and we were sent to earth.
Hazrat Adam didn't disobey. That's another question, you know. We don't consider that he disobeyed. It's not something it's not something you can be considered a sin. It's something that was a plus point that was asked by Adam. If Adam